हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू माय चैनल पीआर नॉलेज सेंटर। आप लोग का स्वागत है मेरे चैनल पे। आज मैं लाई हूँ विजन आईएएस का करंट अफेयर मैगजीन, जो कि अक्टूबर मंथ का है। आज इसको हम करेंगे। ये 2023 का है, तो पहले अक्टूबर का करेंगे, फिर उसके बाद सितंबर से फिर पीछे जाते हुए करेंगे, ताकि अभी जो अपडेटेड न्यूज़ है अक्टूबर की, वो अगर पीछे जाएँ हम तो जो कुछ पुरानी न्यूज़ हो उसको आप कवर कर लें, मतलब ज़्यादा कुछ ना पढ़ना पड़े, यहीं से कवर होते हैं पीछे चला जाए। क्योंकि उस टाइम जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रही होंगी या फिर जो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सप्लेन की गई होंगी, वो यहीं पर अगर पता चल जाती है आधी-आधी चीज़ें, तो वहाँ पर आपको कम करना पड़ेगा और बहुत सारी चीज़ें समझ में आएगी। जैसे कुछ अमेंडमेंट हो गया, कुछ भी हो गया, तो क्या कर रहे थे उस टाइम, तो रिसेंटली रहा होगा, जैसे पास हुआ होगा या कुछ भी, तो अभी उसका क्या प्रोजन कॉन्सेस है, सब कुछ डिटेल में होगा अक्टूबर में। तो ऐसे पीछे जाते हुए हर चीज़ को क्लियर करते हुए तो न्यूज़ थोड़ा शॉर्ट होती जाएगी, उससे समझ जाएंगे, ठीक है। तो अक्टूबर मंथ का है, तो सितंबर का करेंगे, और अगर नया नवंबर वाला गया तो नवंबर वाला भी हम कर देंगे, ठीक है। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। ये जो है, इसमें हम करेंगे पॉलिटी एंड गवर्नेंस का। तो मैं आपको दिखाऊंगी उसका कंटेंट में आपको पता ही होगा, मैगजीन जो है वो मतलब हर सब्जेक्ट का अलग-अलग करके रहता है उसमें डिटेल। तो हम आज करेंगे पॉलिटी एंड गवर्नेंस के बारे में। तो मेरा नाम प्रिया है, आप मुझे जानते ही होंगे। तो और टेस्ट भी करवाया जा रहा है। आपने अगर ध्यान दिया होगा, अगर नहीं देखा है तो जाइए देखिए, 2 टेस्ट हो चुके हैं, उनको देखिए। और हम जल्दी से आपका टेस्ट कंप्लीट करवाएँगे। वो विज़न का ही नहीं, और भी जो टेस्ट हमको मिलेंगे हम सारे टेस्ट करवाएँगे। ये ज़िम्मेदारी मेरी है, मैं करवाऊँगी आपको। और तो एन्जॉय करिए। एनसीईआरटी कंप्लीट हो चुकी है, उसको भी देख लीजिए। तो ये मैंने इंग्लिश में लाई हूँ ये करंट अफेयर, तो इंग्लिश में आप करिए। और जो चीज़ नहीं समझ में आएगी आप पूछ सकते हैं। अगर आपकी हिंदी में डिमांड होगी तो हिंदी का भी हम जल्दी ही ला देंगे। तो अगर ये चैनल आपको पसंद आता है तो प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करें। चलिए अब स्टार्ट करते हैं बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हुए। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। तो ये है अक्टूबर मंथ का करंट अफेयर। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं मैगजीन को। थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम अगर होगी तो प्लीज़ उसको मैनेज करिएगा। हाँ, तो आज हम करेंगे पॉलिटी एंड गवर्नेंस के बारे में। तो इसमें पहले हम करेंगे कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग ऑफ अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज, दूसरा क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स, एंड तीसरा है पार्लियामेंट्री प्रिविलेजेस ऑफ लॉ मेकर्स, एंड फोर्थ है इंटर स्टेट वाटर डिस्प्यूट, पांचवा है रोल ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इन पब्लिक सर्विस डिलीवरी, छठवां है कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन इन इंडिया, एंड सेवेंथ है शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स एंड अदर ट्रेडिशनल फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स, रिकॉग्निशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट 2006। और नेक्स्ट है आपका न्यूज़ इन शॉर्ट न्यूज़ है, जिसमें अनलॉफुल एसोसिएशन अंडर यूएपी में आपा 1966, एंड ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन रिपोर्ट एफआईआर के बारे में है। और अगला है सेंटर क्लेम्स आधार एज मोस्ट ट्रस्टेड डिजिटल आईडी इन द वर्ल्ड। और नेक्स्ट है केबल टेलीविजन नेटवर्क रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1995। और नेक्स्ट लास्ट वाला है सारना कोड, तो इसके बारे में हम करेंगे। ठीक है, चलिए करते हैं फिर। तो ये सब देख लीजिए आप, इकोनॉमी है, इन्वायरमेंट है, और सोशल इश्यूज है, बहुत कुछ है, कल्चर, सबका हम अलग अलग वीडियो बनाएंगे। तो जल्दी ही आप सब पाएंगे कंप्लीट वीडियो। तो बड़ा हैंगिंग की प्रॉब्लम तो हो रही है एब्सोल्युटली। ये जो हैंगिंग की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है इसके लिए वेरी सॉरी। ठीक है, चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, मैनेज करिएगा। तो पॉलिटी एंड गवर्नेंस में करेंगे कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग ऑफ द अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज। तो अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज के बारे में वाई न्यूज। तो जैसे कि अगर आपको मेंस का आंसर राइटिंग लिखना है तो वहां पर आपको लिखना पड़ेगा। तो स्टार्टिंग करने से पहले आप ये जो 2 पॉइंट ऐसे होते हैं ना, रिसेंटली न्यूज में किए हुए, इसको लिखेंगे तो इफेक्टिव आंसर होता है। तो देखिए, तो ये न्यूज में किया क्योंकि रिसेंटली द कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कमीशन सीबीसी इन कोलैबोरेशन विद एमओएचयू, मतलब मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउस एंड अर्बन अफेयर्स, organized a national workshop on capacity building on ULB, मतलब urban local bodies, to foster a unified approach to capacity building ULBs across India. मोर ऑन न्यूज में अगर हम डिस्कस करें तो वर्कशॉप मार्केट द लॉन्च 3 की इनिशिएटिव। कौन सी वो 3 की इनिशिएटिव्स हैं? पहला है एनुअल कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्लान, to enhance capabilities of MOHUA. And second है HCBP for 6 pilot ULBS, that is Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Mysore, Rajkot, Nagpur and Pune. 6 पायलट प्रोजेक्ट चल रहे हैं जो अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज के, उसके बारे में। एंड ये नाम याद कर लीजिए प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू पे, अहमदाबाद, भुवनेश्वर, मैसूर, राजकोट, नागपुर एंड पुणे। एंड नेक्स्ट है कम्प्रिहेंसिव टूल किट फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग capacity building plan for ULBs for providing valuable resource to facilitate the growth and development of ULBs, मतलब अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज। कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कमीशन क्या है इसके बारे में डिस्कस करें तो जेनेसिस के बारे में बात करें तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड थ्रू गैजेट ऑफ इंडिया 2021। एंड अबाउट इसके बारे में बताने तो स्टेबलाइज एज द इंडिपेंडेंट बॉडी with complete executive and financial autonomy. It is a key component of the National Program for Civil Service Capacity Building Mission Karma Yogi. It is key component of this. Okay. Next, serviced by Department of Personnel and Training. So this is serviced under the Department of Personnel and Training. And purpose क्या है? To build a credibility and shape a uniform approach to capacity building on a collaborative and co-sharing basis. And compositions क्या है? Chairperson and 2 members. Chairperson and 2 members. Term and condition of the service chairperson and member shall be notified from time to time. एंड सेक्रेटरीट की बात करें तो हेड बाय ए सेक्रेटरीट ए ग्रेड ऑफ जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया विद अदर रिक्विसाइड स्टाफ एज अप्रूव्ड फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम। एंड फंक्शन एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या है तो इसको याद कर लीजिएगा, अगर क्वेश्चन आएगा तो प्रीलिम्स में आ सकता है। तो फंक्शन एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज coordinate with the Department of Governance for evolving a harmonious siloed approach to improve capacity and build shared resources, and prepare annual HR report on health of civil service along with target achievement. And next, undertake audit of human resource available in government. This is the function of that. About urban local bodies के बारे में जाने तो urban local bodies are small local bodies that administer or govern a city or a town of a specific population. First, urban government, local government is a part of the state list. Which state list? Entry number 5 under the constitution that administrative framework and regulation of the ULBS varies across state. And Constitution 74th Amendment Act 1992 formally recognized urban local government as the third tier of the government. You know very well about the 74th Amendment of Panchayati Raj. And next, the Act provided for the establishment of 3 types of ULBs. First, ULBs में बोल रही हूँ, आप समझ रहे हो ना, urban local bodies. Okay. The next है 3 types of ULBs which Nagar Panchayat for a transitional area, municipal council for a small urban area, and municipal corporations for a larger urban area. Please point this, remember, इसको याद कर लीजिए। ट्रांजिशन एरिया नगर पंचायत और म्यूनिसिपल काउंसिल फॉर smaller urban area, and municipal corporation for large urban area. It empowered state government to devote certain function, authority and power to collect revenue from those body and made periodic election for them compulsory. And next function of the ULBs include urban planning, including town planning, regulation of land use and construction of building, road and bridge, urban poverty elevation, etc. This is a function of the ULBs. Okay. नीड फॉर कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग फॉर यूएलबीज, अगर नीडेड पूछ ले तो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। और जब भी आप पेंशन राइटिंग करेंगे तो उसमें नीडेड क्यों है इसके बारे में तो जरूर बताएंगे। टू डील विद रीजनल aspiration, that is economic and social development to bottom by planning. And next, India's urban centers are considered engine for growth as they account nearly two-thirds of the country's economic growth. And India's urban population is expected to almost double from 460 million in 2018 to 876 million by 2050. And for successful and effective implementation of the scheme like Smart City Mission, Amrut Mission, etc. And streamlining the planning process and the delineation of institutional role relationship for the ULBs to meaningful shape local and regional plans. If we are measuring about the measure take by the capacity building of the ULBs, first measures है कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग स्कीम फॉर द अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज यू कैन मतलब आप इसको हेडिंग लिख दोगे ना इतना एनफ है फिलहाल आप समझ लीजिए इट एम टू द स्ट्रेंथिंग अर्बन लोकल government to through capacity building for better governance and the financial management as articulated in the 11th five-year plan. Second है World Bank assist capacity building for the urban development project. Next है National Urban Digital Mission. एंड उसके बाद इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें इंक्लूडेड है three pillars are people, process, and platform to provide the framework for the digital governments in country. National Institute Urban Affairs has been appointed to anchor this mission. Established in 1976, NIUA is a premier institute for the research, training, information dissemination in urban development and management. Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewable Mission focused on the efficiency in urban infrastructure and service delivery mechanism. Community participation and the accountability for the ULB prestige to agency towards citizens. And next time municipal bonds. These are the financial instruments that municipal corporation and other association bodies in India issue to raise funds. यू कैन इनपुट द फॉर मतलब आप जो दो चार इसमें से याद कर लीजिए जिसको आप लिख सकते हैं दिस इज जो छोटे छोटे पॉइंट है ना बहुत यूजफुल है फॉर प्रीलिम्स challenges associated with the capacity building of local urban local bodies challenges lack of skill um, and training curricula capacity gaps in the municipal employees are augmented by the capacity building deficit in the training institutions. And also state training institutions focus on more general and rural administration rather than on urban governance. Lack of awareness and participation and net participation devolution. The 73rd and 4th Amendment Act lists the function of the local government bodies. However, in the practice, there is a lack of the devolution of the financial authorities, resulting in the local authorities having greater responsibility without financial means to fulfill it. And for instance, poor finance Bihar ULBs are due to the delays in the release of the grant, indicate devolution of the fund, delayed in the revision of tax rates and the assignment of the landholding. Way forward training is needed. Qualified training material officer offering a mix of the classroom-based training and field training ought to be designed. And second, a professionalism. Developing a cadre system and provide specific training to the create a strong and efficient workforce in the municipal department. Example, engineering disciplines. And next awareness generation and next fiscal decentralization and logo and next enhance the local institution ability to allocate fund for training and convergence, institutionalizing structure of the local bodies to enhance the coordination among local government bodies and bring synergy. This will indirectly increase the institution as well as the human resource capacity building of urban local bodies. It's going to be important to urban planners. This is quantitative and qualitative research, project structure, strategic plans, and consensus building and moderations. This surviving a mapping, critical thinking, financial model, and leadership and the team management, policy development and problem solving ability for multi-sectoral issues and GIS remote sensing, project evaluation and the monitoring and documentary and visual presentations, multidisciplinary awareness and regulatory and legal framework, communication and persuasion. This is a very important. Please use this point in your main answer writing. This is very useful for understanding and explaining your answer with some points. नेक्स्ट है ये तो कंप्लीट हो गया अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज हैज बीन कंप्लीट एंड नेक्स्ट criminalization of the politics. Very good. तो why news? Recently released report title. कौन सा टाइटल रिलीज हुआ रिपोर्ट? Analyzing the sitting MPs from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha of India 2023 was released. This is the title of the report. More about news. Please know. It was released by the association. मतलब who is मतलब कौन इसको रिलीज किया? एसोसिएशन फॉर डेमोक्रेटिक रिफॉर्म. जैसे कि जो पॉलिटिशियन होते हैं उनके ऊपर जो क्रिमिनल चार्जेस होते हैं उसके बाद वो कितने लोकसभा में है कितने राज्यसभा में, उसके लिए सब मतलब रिपोर्ट आई है. तो ठीक है, एसोसिएशन ऑफ डेमोक्रेटिक रिफॉर्म एंड नेशनल इलेक्शन वॉच इसने रिलीज किया. ये पूछ सकता है क्वेश्चन प्रीलिम्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कि फाइंडिंग क्या है? सिटिंग एमपीज विद क्रिमिनल केसेस. मतलब इतने एमपीज जो क्रिमिनल केस के साथ हैं पार्लियामेंट में. 40% sitting MPs have declared criminal cases against themselves. 40%. And sitting MPs with serious criminal cases. 25% of sitting MPs have declared serious criminal cases, including cases related to murder, attempt to murder. ये मतलब serious case in 25%. And state with the highest percentage of sitting MPs with criminal cases. Highest percentage of sitting MPs with the criminal cases in state लक्षद्वीप, केरला एंड बिहार, महाराष्ट्र. पहले सबसे ज्यादा यूटीज में लक्षद्वीप, केरल, बिहार, महाराष्ट्र में. ADR was established in 1999 by a group of the professors from the Indian Institution Management, Ahmedabad. Its goal to improve the governance of the strengthening democracy by the continuous work in area of the electoral and political reform. Impact of the criminalization of politics. What is the effect? You know very well about is the effect. First, institutionalization. Institutionalized corruption and trust erosion. Very good. Corruption thrives when the rule of law is disregarded and paired with the criminality of politics. India ranked 85th out of 180 countries according to the 2022 corruption perceptions index reported by the Transparency International. Wow, 85 rank है वो भी 180 country में. Very good. And second, also when politician with the criminal background hold public offices, it can erode public trust in the political system. And criminalization of the political parties. This is because of the criminal element can gain control on political parties and using them for their benefits. Inner party democracy also gets adversely impacted. And next affects working of the investigation and prosecution agencies. Nexus between the criminal politician has been tendency to influence the working of agencies. The Supreme Court in 2017 termed Central Bureau of the Investigation CBI as a caged parrot and its matters wise. मतलब CBI को caged parrot बोला जो कि सेंटर के हिसाब से ही पोपट बनता है. तो डिसिप्लिन conviction rate as per Supreme Court amicus curiae SC amicus curiae report 2022 5,097 cases are pending against the lawmakers across the country. Next, affecting the conducting of the free and fair elections. Due to the use of money and muscle power in election by criminal, the election are not conducted in the free and fair manners. And the center of the media studies report around the $8 billion was dollar spent during the 2019 Lok Sabha general elections. This is about the criminalization of politics. वाट सेकेंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म कमीशंस मतलब एआरसी की रिपोर्ट है. इन द फोर्थ एआरसी रिपोर्ट, ethics in governance stated as the participation of the criminal in the electoral process factor behind the criminalization of politics. Nexus between the criminals gang, police bureaucracy and politicians. When muscle power, criminals are used by the political parties and independent candidates to spend enormous sums of the money on vote buying and other illegal activities. Winnability, as per the earlier report, change of the winning in twice compared to other candidates. Denial and justice and rule of law due to the inordinate delay lasting over year and high cost in the judicial process. Vote bank political parties courting criminal and offering them cabinet position in exchanging for vote. Money power due to the law statutory limit of the election experiences for more expensive candidate often take criminal help. And other factors corruption nexus between the criminal and politician etc. Measures of the check the criminalization of politics. First measure, legislative measure. It is Section 8, Clause 3 of the Representation of the People Act 1951 say that any lawmakers sentenced to at least 2 years in jail remain disqualified for 6 years upon their release. Such as the disqualification is enabled Article 102 Clause 1 of the Constitution of India, which say lawmaker can be disqualified under any law enacted by the Parliament. Similarly, provision existed by the state under Article 191 Clause 1. This is the disqualification. And judicial pronouncement क्या है? पर्चा यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया versus Association of Democratic Reform 2002. Supreme Court stated the elector have a fundamental right to know antecedent of the candidate. It stated the right to be informed as right to flowing from freedom of speech and expressions. People Union of Civil Liberties versus Union of India 2004, a Supreme Court declared Section 33B for Representation of the People Act 1951 of the unconstitutional and void. The section allowed the conditions to furnish information only under the Act. Lily Thomas versus India Union India case. What is about case 2013 का है. Supreme Court ruled this Section 8 Clause 4 for the Representation of People Act 1951 as the unconstitutional, and Section 8 Clause 4 of the Representation Politics Act Representative People Act earlier allowed the convicted MP, MLAs, MLCs to continue in their post and provided they appealed against their conviction sentence in higher court within 3 months of the date of the judgment by the trial courts. Public Interest Foundation versus Union of India 2018 का केस है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ordered the political party to publish the criminal record on their coordinate of their website, social media and handled in newspaper. क्या है सोशल मीडिया पे इन लोग का क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड? लेट मी चेक. आई विल चेक. Rambabu Singh Thakur versus Sunil Arora 2020. The Supreme Court re-entered the court's 2018 direction and directed the Election Commission to report the Supreme Court any non-compliance by the political party. Way forward में आप क्या लिखेंगे? Lifetime ban for the convict from polls. Election Commission for the India mentioned it is the electoral reform proposal published by 2014-16. And hybrid electoral system. This will be used and punishment for the filling of the false affidavits. सही है. International democracy for the political parties and amending the Representation of People Act 1950 to label the person from the contesting election against whom he knows nature crime as the pending. अदर रिफॉर्म में क्या करते हैं? राइट टू रिकॉल, स्टेट फंडिंग ऑफ द इलेक्शन, फास्ट ट्रैकिंग जुडिशियल प्रोसेस. इट इज द इम्प्रूव द इलेक्शन इकोसिस्टम ऑफ इंडिया. सॉरी. रिलेटेड इन न्यूज. Association of Democratic Reform and National Election Watch also released a report analysis of sitting MP, MPs, MLA with declared cases released by hate speech. Key highlights: a total of 107 current MPPs, 33 MPs, and MLAs 24 have declared case related to hate speech. About hate speech क्या होता है? The Law Commission report number 267 on March 2017 on hate speech stated the hate speech has not been defined in any law in India. And however, legal provisions in certain legislation like Section 153A, 153B, 295A of IPC prohibit select from the speech as the exception of the freedom of speech. Next है parliamentary privileges of lawmakers. Why news? Recently, the Supreme Court set up a seven-judge bench headed by the Chief Justice of India for reconsideration of its 1998 five-judge constitution bench judgment in the P.V. Narasimha Rao case. तो मोर ऑफ द न्यूज के बारे में जाने तो 1998 में जजमेंट ऑफ द पीवी नरसिम्हा राव वर्सेस स्टेट केस कैम इन द बैकड्रॉप ऑफ 1993 झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा ब्राइबरी केस की बात हो रही है. एज पर द जजमेंट लीगल इम्यूनिटी ग्रांटेड टू लेजिस्लेचर अंडर द आर्टिकल 105 clause 2 and 194 clause 2 of the constitution protection them against criminal prosecution on bribery charge for any speech or vote in parliament. Supreme Court has now decided to consider this precedent. Okay, about parliamentary privileges. Parliamentary privileges are legal immunity and enjoyed by the member of legislature. In this legislature are granted protection against civil and criminal liabilities of the certain action done on statement made in the course of their legislative duties. So far, neither Parliament nor any state legislature has enacted any legislation that have defined the powers, privilege, and immunity of the House on that of its member and committees. It should noted here that the Parliament till now has not made any special law and exhaustively codify all the privileges. They are based on the five sources, namely constitutional provisions and various law made by the parliament, a rule for of both the house and parliamentary conventions and judicial interpretations. Parliament and the sole authority of the certain if there has been a breach of the contempt of the house, no court is trusted with the power. A member of the house can raise a question involving the breach of the privilege on the consent of the chairperson of, or speaker. But the provisions of grant legislative immunity from prosecution. So, Article 105 deal with the powers and privileges of the both House Parliament and its member of the committees. Similarly, Article 194 outline the corresponding power and privilege and immunities of state legislature and their member and committees. Right to prohibit publication of the proceeding. Article 105 clause 2 stipulates that no person shall be liable in respect of the publication of the under authority of either House of Parliament any report, paper, votes and proceeding. Freedom of speech in parliament, and this is article about that, very good. Freedom of from arrest. Code of Civil Procedure 1908 provide that member can enjoy freedom from arrest in any civil case 40 days before any and later the adjournment of the house, and also when the house is in the session. However, the privilege is limited to civil case. An MP doesn't enjoy any immunity against action in the criminal case during the session of the otherwise. Very good. This is the civil case 40 days before and very good. इस टाइम उनको कोई अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकता भाई. क्या है? Breach of the privilege. It is the individual and authority disregard of the undermines and parliamentary privileges and member of the or the house. It is called the breach of the privilege. Contempt house of you can read now. Rationale behind the parliamentary privilege. पहला, ensure the freedom of the expression of the legislature without fear and legal consequences, and maintain the authority, dignity, and legislature, and carry out the function independent and effectively of both the house without any interference. Ensure the attendance of the parliament sessions. So privilege based on the rule and procedure and the president, right of the executive strangers. You can read. Need for the reform in the parliamentary privilege. पहला, applicability, misuse and lack of the oversight, lack of the procedure against natural justice and violates the constitutionalism. The absence of the codified privilege give unlimited power to the House to decide when and how breach of the privilege focused. Way forward, provide immunity to parliamentarians is essential. However, urgent steps are required to ensure constitutionalism, such as codifying a privilege, stabilizing and standard operating the procedures in case of breach of privilege, etc. Also, Parliament can stabilize clear boundaries by enacting a specific legislation to monitor the misuse of the parliamentary privilege by its member. And next topic is interstate water dispute. The why news recently, Union Cabinet approved the term of reference to the Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal second under the Interstate River Water Dispute Act 1956. More on news. तो KWTD मतलब कृष्णा वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल्स second will distributed the Krishna water allocated in undivided Andhra Pradesh between the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Krishna is a east flowing river that originated at the Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra and merged with the Bay of Bengal, flowing through Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. Also, the Supreme Court criticized the Punjab government for slow progress in constructing the Satluj-Yamuna Link Canal and asked the centre to conduct a survey of the land designated for the canal to assess the work state. About SYL canal and associated issues. Okay, SYA. Okay. SYL is 214 km long canal sharing water for Ravi Vyas River between Haryana and Punjab, of which 122 km was the Punjab and 92 km in Haryana. It was planned in 1966 after Haryana was carved uh, out. Punjab Haryana completed its stages of the CYL canal in 1980 while Punjab kept the riparian principle and non-available its water. And Punjab argues that many areas in state may go dry after 2029 due to over-exploitation of groundwater. Haryana argues that its southern part of the state are facing water problem due to the depleted groundwater. It claims that it has been denied its rightful share in water and tribunal set up under ISRWD Act 1956 about Krishna water dispute. So in 1969 Krishna water dispute tribunal first ये second है ये first की बात हो रही was set up under the IR ISRWD Act 1956 divided into 200 2060 TMC means 1000 million cubic feet of Krishna water at 75 dependability. 75% dependability of a catchment implies that 2060 TMC of water can be reliably extracted from a catchment area 75 of the times. Consider the natural variability in water available due to the factors such as participation, evaporation, and infiltration. KWDI DT. Second, Institute in 2004 made a allocation of the Krishna water at 65% individuality and for surplus flow. In 2014, after the creation of the Telangana as separate state, Andhra Pradesh asked to include Telangana as a separate party at KWT and that the allocated of Krishna water be revoked among four states instead of three. However, Maharashtra, Karnataka now arguing that Telangana was created following bifurcation of the Andhra Pradesh. Therefore, the allocated of water should be from Andhra Pradesh here, which was approved by the tribunal. Okay, next tribunal set up under the 1956. रवि एंड ब्यास वाटर ये सब ट्रिब्यूनल्स हैं जो सेटअप हुए हैं. तो रवि एंड ब्यास वाटर ट्रिब्यूनल स्टेट कंसर्न ये कहाँ पर है? पंजाब, हरियाणा और राजस्थान में. और नेक्स्ट है नर्मदा वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल, कहाँ पर? राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, गुजरात एंड महाराष्ट्र में है. और वसुंधरा वाटर डिस्प्यूट ये कहाँ पर है? आंध्र प्रदेश एंड उड़ीसा के बीच में. गोदावरी वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल ये है महाराष्ट्र, आंध्र प्रदेश, कर्नाटक, मध्य प्रदेश, उड़ीसा के बीच में. एंड महादेवी वाटर महादाई वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल गोवा, कर्नाटक एंड महाराष्ट्र में. कृष्णा वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल सेकेंड है ये कर्नाटका में एंड आंध्र प्रदेश में एंड महाराष्ट्र में. कावेरी वाटर डिस्प्यूट ट्रिब्यूनल ये पर केरल में है, कर्नाटक में, तमिलनाडु में है, पुडुचेरी में है. फैक्टर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इंटर स्टेट वाटर डिस्प्यूट: asymmetrical access to water and rising water demand and lack of the clarify water usage right and lack of the integrated approach. And other issues में है MSPs of the rice and wheat led to manifold increase in water demand, therefore inserting an interstate water conflict. Krishna Kaveri Tista basin of the soil between Punjab and Haryana. And boundaries of state in India have continued to alter based on the cultural and political factor. Mechanism to deal with the interwater dispute. Under 7th schedule of constitution, entry 17th of state list read: water that is safe, water supplies, irrigation and canal drainage and embankments, water storage and water power subject to the provisions of entry 56 of list union list. Entry 56 of list, it provides the regulation and development of interstate rivers and river valley to extend to which such a regulation and development under the control of the union is declared by parliament by law by expedient in the public interest. Article 262 की बात करें, it says that parliament by law may provide the adjudication of any dispute of the complaints with respect to the use of distribution and control over the water of or any state river or river valley in the exercise of the power conferred by Article 262 of the Constitution. Parliament has enacted two laws. First law is Interstate Water Dispute Act 1956. Under it, state government which has a water dispute with another state government may request to the central government to refer the dispute to a tribunal adjudication. And second, a River Board Act 1956. It made up the setting up a river board by the central government for regulating the development of the interstate river and river valleys. National Water Policy 2012. It seeks to address the issues such as the scarcity of water, inequities in its distribution, and the lack of the unified perspective in the planning and management and use of water resources. Challenge associated with the resolving interstate water dispute. First, delay the resolution. There is a prolonged proceeding and delay a disposal of river water dispute. For example, it took 11 years of the Godavari Water Dispute Tribunal to give its decision. 11 years. Wow. Ambiguity में आर्टिकल 262 deters the Supreme Court from adjudicating interstate river water dispute. However, Article 136 empowers the Supreme Court to hear appeals against the tribunal's order, further causing ambiguity in the implementation of tribunal orders. On a policyization of the dispute, lack of multidisciplinary approach. Way forward में imbibing the cooperation, basin approach, multidisciplinary approach, and water policy. To resolve water dispute on reasonable and equitable lines, certain parameters must be made part for water policy. These parameters include the extent of the river basin drainage area in each state, contribution of water to river basin by each state, climate and dependent population in the river basin, extent, arid and semi-arid area in state, etc. And next news है role of technology in public service. While news, the Comptroller Auditor General of India has emphasized on the need of the increased use of IT system and technology in service delivery to citizens. Very good. Technology and linkage with public service delivery, digital government service. Very good. And traditionally, government service have been delivered in person by individual, dependent in different location offering using the paper form. With digital service, government can deliver information and service citizens anytime, anywhere, and on any platform of device. Significance of technology service delivery: save time and money of the citizens, and it has क्या है hashtagers service facilities start e-signing of document online by citizens in legally acceptable form without having a visit government office. Increase the efficiency in government department as digital record can be shared easily and maintained for later reference. Vehicle data from different state register are collected, processed by Vahan platform and Ministry of Road and Transport and Highway. And elimination of ghost beneficiaries and leakages to large extent as the digital record can be updated dynamically and the leakage can be traced back easily. And linking the Aadhaar card, the respective job card of Manrega, lakh of ghost beneficiaries were identified and removed. Increase the accountability and reduce the corruption as the origin of initiator and particular transactions can be tracked. And the combination of the data harnessed and various source and technology challenge in service delivery, digital divide among the people where a majority of them are yet to be accustomed to digital world and applications, lack of the skilled workforce, cyber security threat, lack of sufficient digital infrastructure, lack of interoperability. And way forward enhance the digital literacy, creating the skilled workforce, legal framework, enhancing the cyber security and improving the digital infrastructure, and enhancing the interoperability of the service to widen the scope of the service. Scan the core. Don't read that. Oh no. Different type of ICT application for rural poor. First है poverty, hunger, health care, education. Improved access to social service, expanded reach, better quality, better targeting, and community involvement, better the allocation of development expenditure, greater accountability, enhance income for the poor, improve the governance of the school service, health and education, reduce cost of efficient supply and access to the e-delivery, and transparency in the employment and economic opportunities, better for price. Oh, okay. नेक्स्ट न्यूज क्या है कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन इन इंडिया वाई न्यूज तो recently finding the suggest that the pendency in the consumer commission was shown as a declining 5.55 lakhs in December 2022 to 5 lakhs 5.44 lakhs in September 2023. Who is consumer? Under the Consumer Protection Act 2019, consumer is the person who buy any goods and avail service for the consideration which has been paid or promised or partially paid and partially promised under any scheme of the deferred payment. It applied both offline and online transactions. However, any person who obtain good or avail service for resale and commercial purpose is not treated as a consumer and outside the scope of the consumer price क्या Consumer Protection Act 2019. Need for the consumer protection in India, informed choice. There has been an increase the supply and duplicate defective products in the market. CPA through the complaints and mechanism and rule they encourage information and dissemination about the product. Checking the malpractices. Um, right of the consumer as given by CPM Consumer Protection Act. The right to be informed, right to hear, the right to consumer education, the right to safety, the right to choose, right to redress. Responsibility of consumer, kinds of the consumer responsibility, concerned consumer and customer must exercise their rights, filing the complaints and genuine grievances. Consumer responsibility insist on bill कंज्यूमर मस्ट बी क्वालिटी कंसिस्ट होना चाहिए क्वालिटी और लिस्ट बिल होना चाहिए एंड cautions the consumers to not buy blindly, don't be offered by advertisement. वेरी गुड बट इतना फॉलो होता है क्या एंड तो ठीक है ये जो कंज्यूमर का नीड है प्रोटेक्शन का इसमें होगा मिसलीडिंग एडवर्टाइजमेंट मेनी बिजनेस प्रोपेसफुल डिसीव consumer by the representing the deceptive false advertisement giving the consumer an incorrect partial अंडरस्टैंडिंग आप प्रोडक्ट जैसे कि फेयर लवली का गोरे हो जाओ लगा के तो इस तरह के मिसलीडिंग एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स को रोकना grievance the redressal and economic growth and competitiveness. Consumer protection contribute to dynamic and affect the market business to grow and measures taken by the consumer protection in India. First, Consumer Protection Act (CP) in 2019 provides the Central Consumer Protection Authority to regulate the matter relating to violating and the right to consumer and fair trade and practices. And second है consumer protection jurisdictions district commission state commission and national commission rule 2021 to provide simple speedy and inexpensive redressal and consumer dispute. And next है Confonet project. It stands the computerization and computer networking for consumer fora in the country. It was implemented in the backdrop of CPA 1986. Integrated the grievance address mechanism portal and e-Dakhil portal. It provides the hassle-free, speedy and expensive facility to consumer around the country of the conveniently approach the relevant consumer from dispending the need to travel and physically present. Our certification market different certificate and market in India you can read that. icon है ISI mark egg mark NBSI hallmark और bull mark और eco mark और या PO mark and India organic. डिटेल ISI मार्क क्या होता है इशूड बाय द BIS फॉर कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल गुड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आइटम किचन एप्लीकेशन अप्लायंस etc. एक मार्क किसके लिए इशूड बाय द डायरेक्टर ऑफ मार्केटिंग इंस्पेक्शंस DMI Department of the Agriculture for Agriculture Commodities and Livestock Product. BSI hallmark issued by the BSI BIS by gold jewelry. Bull mark signify the 100% pure wool. An eco mark issued by the BIS for environmental friendly product. A PO mark issued by the Food Safety and the Standard Authority of India (FSSAI) for food product. India Organic issued by the Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority for organically farmed food and products. Challenge associated with the consumer protection in India. First step, pendency in case and vacancies in institutions. Issue of the clarity, vice versa, role of powers, right versus duties. The realization of the consumer responsibility towards ensuring the protection of their own interest along with the development of conscious consumerism is essence of the consumer protection. However, the CPA does not lay down consumer duties, responsibility and exclusively way forward advertisement. Government should collaborate with the manufacturer distributors and consumer organizations due to the develop and advertising code and standard for the regulating information provide in advertisement safety and quality awareness and role of and responsibilities and enlisting duties. um, Regulation can be explicitly mention consumer duties to guide the ensure responsibility consumption ecosystem. For example, Jamaican government recognized both right and duties for the consumer and published these on their official website. नेक्स्ट है ये तो कंप्लीट हो गया. नेक्स्ट है शेड्यूल ट्राइब एंड अदर ट्रेडिशनल फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स रिकॉग्निशन ऑन फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट 2006. न्यूज में क्यों है? क्योंकि इट हैज बीन रिपोर्टेड द स्टेट हैज रिजेक्टेड नियरली 40% ऑफ लैंड क्लेम्स अंडर फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट. अबाउट फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट के बारे में जाने 2006 का है. बिफोर द इनएक्टमेंट ऑफ दिस एक्ट अर्लियर एक्ट डिड नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज द सिंबॉलिक रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन states and scheduled tribes and forest and their dependent on the forest. Section 3 clause 1 clause A of the FRA recognize the right of the forest dwelling tribal communities and other traditional forest dwellers to hold and live in the forest land and habitation of the self cultivation and livelihood. Types of right under Section 3 of FRA Act: individual forest rights and community forest right. And significance of act gave legal right to land claim FDSTS or TFTS means dwelling for tribal communities and traditional forest dweller, and community right or right over common property resource recognized, right over the development activities, right to intellectual property and traditional knowledge relates to biodiversity and cultural diversity. And community forest in the resource management right. Nodal agencies, nodal responsibility for implementation of the act as the state government duties, administration role of Gram Sabha, land titles. Um, Act recognized by the right of the individual, family, community, and land. However, claims should not exceed more than 4 hectares. Land title give under the FRA in legal title. Land right conferred by the Act where heritable, Section 4, Clause 4 of FRA, but not transferable or alienable. Diversion of forest land and local development right. 3-tier approved process. Gram Sabha, schedule area, protection area. You can write now. National Park, Wildlife Sanctuaries and Tiger Reserve. And इसमें है आर्टिकल 244 and इसमें है देख सकते हैं. And land claims released. Do you know Dongria Konde Adivasis used FRA in 2003 to protect their sacred land in the Niyamgiri forest of Odisha and rejected the Vandanta bauxite mining project. Earlier in Odisha Mining Corporation versus Union of India 2013, Supreme Court directed the Gram Sabha of region will decide about the project. And concern related to act document of proof and inconsistency in acreage claimed and acreage allocated. You can read now. This is very important but not more than important. Other concern with the act: forest land encroachment, misuse the Gram Sabha approved and illegal claimants and regularizing the encroachment made after 13/12/2005 cut off date and recognized, and violation of the FRA provisions, lack of the coordination, destructive of the forest and wildlife. Way forward में issuing directive to state learning from the state government, awareness of generation, capacity building of Gaon Sabha, and other involving the marginal section like women, increasing of role of civil society, etc. एंड शॉर्ट्स न्यूज भी डिस्कस करें तो अनलॉफुल एसोसिएशन अंडर यूएपा 1967 तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर डिक्लेयर द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर डेमोक्रेटिक फ्रीडम पार्टी एज द अनलॉफुल एसोसिएशन अंडर द अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटी प्रिवेंशन एक्ट यूएपा 1967. UPA was enacted for the effective prevention of the certain unlawful activity, individual and association for dealing with the terrorism activities and for matter concern connected therewith. Key point: offences are conceivable, means arrest could be made without a warrant. Penalty: death of imprisonment for life. An unlawful association declaration and association unlawful by the center through an official gazette notification by the specifying the ground and reference to tribunal on the declaration of being unlawful, the notification should be referred to tribunal within 30 days. Tribunal consists of one person, judge and a high court. Other powers to center prohibit the use of fund and unlawful association to notify places used to purpose of the unlawful association. Terrorist act. Definition: it include any act intended threaten the unity, integrity, security or sovereignty of India and strike terror people in India in any foreign country. And next for feature of the proceeds in terrorism. Next news है online registration for first information report FIR 282 second report title amendment in section 154 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 enabling online registration of FIR submitted 22nd Law Commission on the Ministry of Law and Justice. Section 154 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 govern how the first information about the commission of the cognizable offense is recorded. Recommendation है EFIR enabled in phase manner. And second, state have the power of expand the list of offense. Privacy of the parties to ensure verification and inform the complaint and punishment if false information. E complaint to be allowed for non-conjugal offense. Capacity building to be given important significance. Citizens can report crimes conveniently and efficiently. Complaints can be checked the timely status and their complaints online. It help in reducing the footfall at the police station. Center claim Aadhaar as the most trusted digital in the world. Reporting the claim made an investor service agency, the center has claimed the Aadhaar is foolproof. Aadhaar is a 12-digit individual identification number issued by the Unique Identification Authority of India (UIDAI). The collected data to secured in the central identities data repository of URI. Key feature of Aadhaar: uniqueness, random member architecture. It open and scalable. The current authentication service can handle 100 million authentication a day. Measure take and ensure safety Aadhaar card. Aadhaar UIDAI the introduced to two-layered security mechanism Aadhaar based footprint etc. You can read now. This is not more important. The key uses of Aadhaar. Aadhaar uses in DBT. Aadhaar enable payment system. JAM, Jandhan Aadhaar Yojana Mobile, Trinity, and One Nation One Ration Card Scheme, PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, CoWIN, and Face Authentication. Cable Television Network Regulation Act 1995. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has notified the amendment in the Cable Television Network Rule 1994. It provides the operational mechanism for the implementation of discriminalization liberalized provisions of the Cable Television Network Act 1995 aim to make the Cable Television Network Act 1995 more business friendly and boost investor confidence and ease of doing business. Section of the Act were re-examined and were discriminalized through the Jan Vishwas Act 2023, the imprisonment provisions. And Sarna Code, Jharkhand government is seeking the recognition of Sarna religious code for tribals. Sarna follow the nature worshippers who do not consider themselves Hindus and have been fighting for separate religious identity decades. So far, the census survey have included them as other in the re- religion column. Belief of the Sarna faith do not practice idol worship and nor do not Athenians adhere to concept of the Varna system, heaven, hell, etc. Holy grails of Sarna faith is jal, water, jungle, forest, zameen, land, and the followers pray to tree and hills. This is complete now. और देन आपका पॉलिटी कंप्लीट हो गया. पॉलिटी और गवर्नेंस दोनों कंप्लीट हो गया. अब मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. तो कैसा लगा वीडियो बताइएगा जरूर. अगर पसंद आए तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करिएगा और कमेंट बॉक्स में अपना फीडबैक जरूर दीजिएगा. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो. तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय भारत.